Programmatic King is here. In this video, I want to talk about the biggest problem that I'm experiencing with Google advertising and how I truly believe that programmatic ads can fix this big problem that Google is having. But first, let me show you an example of what happens when I try to search for. So I like buying sneakers, and I'm sure a bunch of guys like buying sneakers. So here's the biggest problem that we all have with Google. If you typed in the best men's sneakers, like I've done up top here, you would just get a whole bunch of results here. As you can see, the options here are quite a lot. And if you notice, when you do a search for the best men's sneakers, you're presented with a whole bunch of options here. That could get quite overwhelming. There's this concept called the paradox of choice, where if a consumer or customer is presented with too many options, they end up just getting overwhelmed and not making a decision. And this is what often happens to me too. And even when I try to look for other options as I scroll down, I'm really looking for some organic suggestions. I'm really looking for the top sneakers, or really the best, to see what's in the market, what's out there on the marketplace that Google can recommend me. Unfortunately, I don't trust Google anymore because, as you can see, majority of the times they're trying to sell me different types of brands, most of which I don't know. I know Air Jordans, but a lot of these brands I don't really know like that. And I didn't even know, especially when there are a lot of cheap Chinese knockoffs. I don't know if any of these brands that I don't know outside of Jordans are really that good. And I cannot rely on Google to tell me that. So even when I scroll down, notice Amazon is at the top. Why is Amazon at the top? Do you trust Amazon? I don't trust Amazon. I'll show you something else. So it's not until you start scrolling down even further down the page, you start to notice some videos getting recommended. For example, this guy is being recommended to me, this video is being recommended to me, but I'll get back to that. And then below those videos is some organic suggestions. Here is GQ magazine. So I'm pretty sure there's some affiliate deals going on here. And then I don't know what other publications these ones are. And then of course Reddit comes up. See, I trust Reddit because there are a bunch of nerds in Reddit. So I definitely trust Reddit. As you can see, the options for me are quite overwhelming. But as a marketer, I do understand how humans behave when it comes to situations like these. I do it, you probably do it, I know my kids do it. They go to YouTube first, which is why I loved this recommendation here, because it's recommending top 7 best fall sneakers to buy right now. So I'm pretty sure Bryce Kicks is a well-known influencer in the sneaker game. I went to YouTube myself and I typed in the same search query at the top here, the best men's sneakers. And then some other recommendations were brought to me, including some of these ones here. So there's a lot of recommendations. So most people, this is what they tend to do. They look for influencers that they know, like, and trust first, and then they watch the reviews by these guys. So for example, Seth Fowler here. Just by looking at the quality of his content, I know he's gonna deliver. He's gonna tell me what I need to be buying, what's fresh out here. I'm more likely to go with Seth's recommendation over Google's recommendation, because Google is just trying to sell me stuff, legit stuff, knockoffs from China. I don't know what's going on, but I know Seth is looking out for me. So I trust Seth. So I'm gonna watch his video and I'm gonna go to this guy here. This guy kind of seems legit. So I'll watch this guy, Elliot Page, and then maybe I'll do this guy. I'll give this guy a shot too. And based on these 3 guys, I'll make my decision on which sneaker brand that I want to explore. The other thing I've noticed is brand loyalty is only for specific generations, in my opinion. From what I've observed in the marketplace, the older generation, the boomers, the millennials, Gen Xers, are more inclined to be loyal to brands, but generations below the millennials, even the younger millennials, they don't really care about brand loyalty like that. They don't really care about brands like that. All they care about is the quality dope, and is the top influencer rocking it? Is it in style right now? Even if it's Adidas, if it's Yeezys, it doesn't matter. Look at what happened. Like Yeezy, Kanye, when he decided to divorce with Adidas, Yeezys were just fine. They were not affected. He didn't lose money because people were more loyal to the influencer who was Kanye than Adidas, the brand. So that's how the younger generation behaves, and they move culture and they influence culture that way. But let us say that I've picked New Balance. I think the best strategy for a brand like New Balance or even Yeezys will be to complement their Google ad strategy with programmatic ads. So the Google search, the Google shopping ads, complement those with programmatic ads. It's important for a New Balance to even partner up with some of these influencers here and do some of like these shorts here, these YouTube shorts, and run these as ads. So you could pick a Seth, Elliot, let them do a 60-second review of the latest New Balance sneakers, the latest Yeezy sneakers. Run that as an ad. Let me go into my DSP now so I can kind of show you the strategy that I would pick to dominate a hyper niche, because I think that's where the future is going here. So instead of appealing to an entire age group of men 18 to 24, maybe only pick men 18 to 24 that are skateboarders, but that also listen to hip hop. Not just the new hip hop, old school hip hop. That's hyper niche right there. 20-year-old guys, 25-year-old guys that like Kanye, that listen to Kanye, even his old joints, college dropout. Take that audience segment, go into your DSP. What I would do in this case, I would pick browsing audiences. What browsing audiences allows for you to do is to be able to select AI-generated context, which creates an audience based on in-context and out-of-context phrases, as well as exact keyword match, which creates an audience based on the exact keyword phrases that are being selected. So you can take the same keyword phrases that you're using for your search campaigns, plug them into your DSP, and then create an audience based on that. And then the other audience I would probably focus on would be the location audiences. Location audiences, which is this one. Location audience is pretty much targeting specific locations that are within a small radius. These sneakerheads, they have conferences. So they might have a conference in Vegas about the latest and greatest in sneakers. So they might have a conference in Vegas. So why not target the conference in Vegas and target that area using location audiences? Your campaign can completely dominate that audience when they're attending a conference in Vegas. Last but not least, I would experiment with first-party audience. There's some niche publications out here that are not mainstream. Let's say you pick the top 10, because that's where I believe the future of publications is going. It's going back again to where it began, which is old school. If you guys remember Vice and how Vice started, it was an underground magazine focused on topics that nobody else wanted to touch. A lot of publications are going to go back to that, where they're going to retain their core audience as long as they put out really good content. So look for those kind of publications that are talking about real stuff, real topics that people like. And then you use those first-party audiences to target your sneaker brand. Some people, I've noticed what they do is they go to TikTok to look for the top sneakers that are in fashion right now. They'd rather go to TikTok than Google. We're seeing that a lot. And I'm sure Google's going to be happy when TikTok gets banned very soon. I'm sure they're going to be happy about that. They're going to be like, woof, these guys are stealing our traffic. And the other thing I've noticed is that, especially with the younger generation, they're not keen on typing into Google the topic they're looking for. They're the new school guys. That's the old school way of doing things. The newer generation, especially my kids' generation, what they do is they like the voice command thing because they didn't have the patience. They'd rather click the little mic thing and tell Google, find me the best sneakers. That's what they'd rather do. And then Google will give them trash. And I think that's really affecting a lot of these search campaigns. Google is acting funny and weird nowadays because they're trying to make some money, okay? So they kind of, I don't want to call it scamming, but it's very close to scamming. Let me explain to you. When you're buying these keyword phrases, if there's no competition for a specific keyword phrase, then you should not be paying for that keyword phrase because there's no competition. If Google is saying that these keyword phrases are bought based on an auction, then if nobody else is competing for that keyword phrase, then I should be able to get that keyword phrase for nothing. But no, that's not what Google does because they're greedy. Google will still charge you like $5 for that keyword phrase, even if nobody else is bidding on that keyword phrase. Bringing the cost of your ads so high unnecessarily. So this is where I think programmatic ads are going to make the big difference here. You can lock into your DSP all these audiences, first party, browsing data, location data, and then create a lot of brand awareness among that audience. So when they're searching for these sneakers, your brand can stand out. They've probably seen the ads already in the algorithm. So they'll be like, oh, okay, I've seen this influencer talking about these sneakers on YouTube. Now I'm seeing the ads. Now when I search for it, it's showing up. I'm gonna pick that brand over the other ones because I don't trust them. I hope you got some value from this video. If you're interested in executing the best programmatic campaigns possible, schedule time. Let's talk about it. Let's make sure 2025 you don't lose money on these search campaigns. Because I'm seeing the cost of search campaigns, it's not getting cheaper. It's actually getting more expensive and it's frustrating for me. So I'm sure it's frustrating for you too. Let's talk, schedule time. I'll put a link in the description of this video. Talk to you soon.